Hello? This doesn't really need to be quoted because it's just reposting his own stuff from somewhere else. That's like not an important source. Like it's not like he's quoting his own book or even a email or document or blog comment with a link to it. You just it's sort of like saying I said to my friend, quote, blah blah blah. Um it is an exact quote. It's okay to quote it, it's not wrong. But it's sort of like an initial contribution to the discussion. He's showing like new material from himself. It's a little like if he wrote it in a notes file on his computer and then he said, yesterday I wrote in my notes file, quote, and then he quoted himself. Which isn't like wrong, but normally it makes more sense to just be like, yesterday I wrote in my notes file and then just paste it as a non-quote because it's your own writing that you're writing and sharing now. Anyway, it's a minor thing, but it looks weird to have so much quoting when there's also there's so many paragraphs, like there are all these really short lines because it's from Discord. It makes it look sort of choppy to have the quote markers mark every new paragraph, and there's a lot of new paragraphs. It makes them stand out more. Anyway, those minor comments. I don't have much of a plan for what I'm gonna stream today, so questions would be good. Anyway. Okay, something like this needs quoting. How did he do that? What text did that? Here's a quote, but it's very partial. I don't know if it's an exact quote or not. I don't know if they're slaves. Maybe they find the humans useful in some way. Like, I don't think being ridden on is inherently a bad thing. If I was a centaur, I might let my friends ride on me because it's easier than like waiting for them when they walk. Because they walk slow. If I was a centaur, I'd be like, why are you so slow? So if I was a dragon, I'd be like, why are you so slow? And also, you could just get stuck when there's a mountain. So I'd prefer my friend rode because they're too bad at travel. This is completely correct. That's not bias. You say you don't understand what it was, which I guess may be mostly true. But I think that's an interesting comment because they also say it seems like they were putting the girl in some sort of more powerful role intentionally. That is correct. So that shows some understanding of what was going on. There was at least some understanding. I guess he specifically says what he didn't understand was the dialogue that was supposed to be banter, but that's a lot of where the more powerful role comes from. Closely related. It wasn't irrelevant to the plot of the movie. I mean, I don't think it was. I haven't watched the movie. I'm pretty sure it was relevant. They rarely put irrelevant stuff in movies. Unless it's like a very short side joke, but that was like character development with main characters. They plan out all the scenes and like every scene is there for a reason. So they'll throw in jokes for like comic relief because the audience likes jokes, but any like plot point kind of thing is there for a reason. I don't think it's irrelevant. And this is a common movie thing and it's kind of silly where they want the characters to talk and everyone cares more about the social relationships and the talking than the actual action. Um but instead of just having them like sit around at home and talk, movies are like, well, action is cool, so we'll have action. But then they just have to like fit their character development in the middle of the action sometimes. You see people on like a fucking quest or adventure or whatever, and they get like a 1 second of downtime and they start talking about their relationship. Not necessarily a romantic relationship, just like personal stuff that's not part of the mission. It's like, hurry up, get to the next step in your mission. Like, you're under heavy time pressure. They're like, nah, we'll just talk for a minute. What the fuck does straight man mean? I don't think it means heterosexual. It's bad to use the term like straight man, which normally means heterosexual, in a context where there could be like dating, flirting, sexual relationship, because it's at least ambiguous and possibly confusing or misleading. Brian Green has rickets. No idea if that's true, but okay. I assume it was like a pronunciation issue? Like a test of pronunciation? I do not claim to be particularly good at pronouncing things, but whatever. I think maybe straight means serious, like not joking, like playing it straight instead of rolling something. But I don't find it clear. The straight man is a stock character in a comedy performance. Maintain composure. Okay. That's sort of like the ballpark of what I was guessing. I don't think it's a good jargon term. Like, it's not recognizable enough as being a specific thing with a meaning. And it's too ambiguous with heterosexual. What's up, Alan? Ask me questions about about epistemology. Why are you reading Hayek? Like, you're finding shitty stuff to criticize, but why prioritize doing that over, I don't know, inventing an AGI or something? Okay, so I had a review request for Drama Club by Melanie Martinez lyrics. So, it's this thing. I haven't watched the song yet. I'm just gonna skim the song to see what it looks like, and then look at the lyrics. Oh, it's not a music video, right? It's just an image. 3 million views, is that updated? Yeah, 3 million. Okay, so not ultra popular. Okay, so this is trying to claim that the other person is low status, which is offensive. Saying that you're hanging on my sentences means you are chasing me. You're putting effort into the stuff I do. You're following me, not vice versa. I don't hang on your sentences. I don't really care what you say. You perceive me as high value, but I don't perceive you as high value. That's what this means, which is offensive. So yes, you do offend people. You're mean to people. Calling them soft is a way of attacking them. It's blaming them for finding her mean. The rough meaning is, if you were better at social games, instead of being harmed by my social attacks, you would fight back as an equal. So what she's kind of saying is, get better at social popularity contests like me. So this is very mean and aggressive. And it's in disguise. It's fake, it's fraudulent. She's trying to pretend that what she's saying is thick skins are good. People shouldn't be offended so easily. But she's doing that as a way to attack people. It's not like self-help advice about how to be less of a victim of people like her. It's part of the victimization. She's trying to make them feel extra bad and guilty about it. She's trying to pretend she's not doing anything. It's like, oh, I just said some words. Why are you so sensitive? It's part of pretending she's not so aggressive as she is. So it's like extra nasty. It's denying the reality of what's going on, of how aggressive she is. It's faking reality. It's trying to tell people that this thing they're experiencing, they experience being attacked and hurt and so on. It's telling them that doesn't exist. It's all in their head. They're making it up. It's their own fault. You get an especially aggressive person with that kind of messaging. It's really nasty. Anyway, that's what I think this is about from the very beginning. You can keep your costume and keep your mask. I'm gonna take a bow so you can kiss my ass. Yeah, so she's pretending to be high status, doesn't give a shit, low effort. People come to her, she doesn't chase other people. People try to please her, she doesn't try to please other people. She's calling other people fake, They wear masks and costumes. She, however, is the star of the show who bows and is genuine. So she's saying, all you guys are not genuine, I'm genuine. This is a social status game. It is her costume. That is her mask. She's such a liar. I never signed up for your drama. You're the person creating drama. She's absolutely the drama creation type. This is a social attack, and then she says, I never signed up for your drama. You just initiated drama. You're such a liar. She's a drama club leader who's cruel to people and then pretends she didn't do anything. And then she pretends they're the ones who created drama club, which drama club is a metaphor for social popularity status contests and social climbing. So she's like a leader and expert of this game, and she's saying that she's not part of the game because that is a way to play the game. They try to feed you lines that you have to memorize. So she's saying she's genuine. She says what she wants, but other people are not genuine and just read lines. So how to come off as genuine is a charisma trait. It's a thing that highly socially calibrated people are good at. That's part of the social game. How you become popular is you figure out, how do I seem genuine? How do I say exactly the right things while it seems natural rather than fake and memorized? And what she's doing here is reinforcing this fraud where she pretends her lines are natural. The other people who stutter and say the wrong things, they're actually being more natural. They're less carefully following the game rules and just pandering to what other people want. Hide behind your disguise. Do you even have a brain? Right, she's accusing other people of not having a brain. She's so mean. Like, she's accusing them of starting drama, and then she calls them brainless. You're sticking to a page. Yeah, so she's just extremely aggressive about people who fit in a little bit less, or they're less good at social games, and she's just being as cruel as possible to them. I mean, as possible is an exaggeration, but she's trying to be extremely cruel and mean to the less social kids, the people who are not pop stars. And she's being extremely dishonest about what's going on. So it's really gross. People like her are the problem, like the main problem. They're the ones who are initiating a lot of the cruelty and are punishing people who don't play the game. Like, she's an enforcer, like a sort of a social world policeman. I never signed up for your drama club. No, you're an enforcer who hurts people who don't sign up. You're pressuring people to sign up. The point of the song is to make people sign up for drama club and call anyone who doesn't brainless, a costume wearer, a mask wearer, a line memorizer, a thin-skinned sensitive person in a bad way, etc. And the people in drama club are the ones who get to be on stage, bow, have their ass kissed, etc. That's what she's saying. So, extraordinarily dishonest. I don't want to be an actress. Yes, you do. That's what you are, you liar. But anyway, these are just accusations in disguise. Anyone who's less socially calibrated than her is an actress living by a script who practices their lines. But she claims she doesn't give a shit about the social games that she spends her entire life trying to be extremely good at. You're overanalyzing every word I say. This is not true. The words she say have more meaning than she lets on, and more meaning than most people manage to analyze or see, not less. Anyway, yeah, a lot of people find like the mean girls and the cliques and stuff objectionable. So what do we have? The mean girls, the cliques, the popular types, etc. Singing about how bad that stuff is, posturing against the stuff they're leaders of. And blah 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 blah. Songs are very repetitive. Most people just don't want to hear many different ideas. Like, this is about how much ideas people want is they're going to listen to the song like 200 times or whatever, or like if it's a radio song or whatever. You know, people will hear a song like 200 times. They'll have like 1, 2, 3, 4. They'll have 4 paragraphs worth of content, and they'll hear it 400 times. It's like 100 listens per paragraph. That's the sort of ratio of how many times people want to hear it versus how much content they want it to have. Oh, drama club lyrics. Szazian position on people considered dangerous to oneself and others. Okay, well, dangerous to yourself doesn't make sense in general. People do what they want to do. If you want to die and you kill yourself, you aren't dangerous to yourself. You are accomplishing your goal. Things that are dangerous to you are things that go against your values, that prevent you from accomplishing your goals. Not your own actions. You act for your own goals. There are like very short-term exceptions. Like if you're, say you take a bunch of psychedelic drugs and you're extremely like confused by the hallucinations. It might be dangerous to yourself because you might say walk off a high place because you don't realize it's a high place, or you might walk into the street and get hit by a car because you don't realize there's a road there. So something like, yeah, on a bunch of hallucinogens, you could be dangerous to yourself in some sense. It's really that the hallucinogens are dangerous to you, but like there's a reason to restrain a person who's on hallucinogens. They don't do something that they will regret when they're not on hallucinogens. That's a very short-term temporary thing, but for like longer-term stuff, people do what they want to do. Often they're conflicted and they'll go back and forth on what they want, but that being conflicted and having different values is not being dangerous to yourself. Being dangerous to others is completely fucking different than being dangerous to yourself. It is an issue of criminals, and we have, you know, courts and police and stuff to deal with that, and we largely do not go after people preemptively for potential criminals. We do in certain cases, like if they've bought bomb materials and we can actually find evidence of they're planning to do a bomb, we can catch them before they actually detonate the bomb. But if we're just like, well, his personality seems like he might murder someone, you know, you don't get to put someone in jail for that. People are often confused about their values. You can help them on a voluntary basis. Do they think they're confused? Do they want help? Do they want your help? It is up it's up to them what to do about their confusion. It's not up to you to say, I think you're confused, so now I'm going to use force and violence against you. As long as you keep it voluntary, it's okay. If you use force and violence, it's not okay. Which is exactly the issue with dangerous to others. Dangerous to others means like threat of force, violence, robbery, rape, etc. Dangerous to self means none of that. Dangerous to others should not be handled by psychiatry. It should be handled by police investigators who find evidence and use courts and juries and so on. Dangerous to self, on the other hand, should also not be handled by psychiatrists. It's just a personal matter for the person to decide in general. If you want to kill yourself, that's your choice. No one should forcibly restrain you. That is violence. And you know, people kill themselves because of that violence. People kill themselves because they know they won't get the chance later if they're in jail or in a psychiatric prison or something. They'll kill themselves preemptively while they still have their freedom. That is one of the things that happens. Another thing worth knowing is suicide hotlines will do things like call the police on you so that the police will come and prevent you from killing yourself. They're not on your side. They're not helpers who are helping you sort out your confusion and pursue your values. They have an agenda, a predetermined conclusion that no matter who you are and what your situation is, they don't want you to kill yourself, and they're going to try to stop you. So those places are not there to help you. Oh, this is a song from a movie. There's a guy that insulted her right before the song. She insulted him back and he got offended, then the song started. Yeah, that just makes it more dishonest. Like, she insulted him back. She was doing drama. And anyways, why did she care that he insulted her? Because she is actually sensitive to that kind of thing. She's highly sensitive to social dynamics. She's paying attention to who insults who is gaining and losing status, etc. And then the entire purpose of the song is to raise her social status and lower his, to attack other people. The song is like an extended insult against that guy. Of course he got offended. She was mean to him. She is good at being mean to people. She's very pushy, pressuring, etc. She's so aggressive. And then she's pretending like she's this innocent angel, which makes it meaner because people are like, well, you were mean to me. And then also you're pretending you didn't do anything. Like, denying the reality that they just experienced is like extra nasty. Oh, yeah, that is unsurprising. Okay, I have two more blog comments. Anyway, there's a different one. There's also a request. The Principal by Melanie Martinez. Lyrics. Well, that's redundant. Greedy, money seeking. Those are the same thing. Not like 100% the same, but pretty redundant. And they're being associated with sneaky. So anti-capitalism, always peeping, fucking creeping. Why is like creepiness and greed being associated together? Creepiness is about like uh acting in a social situation not according to the rules of drama club. So she's saying people who do not follow the scripts, the lines, drama club are creepers. She finds people creepy who don't follow all the social rules, and she just wrote a song attacking people for following social rules. But she wants them to follow that script because anything else is creepy. Anyway, somehow she associates that with greed and money. Makes no sense. Got it on the down low. You're always squeaky. What if I told your mother her son was a cruel motherfucker? Haha. Jesus, she's such a like vengeful bitch. Like, going to someone's mother and insulting the son is such a mean way to deal with someone in high school. She's so aggressive. It's not just me, it's everybody who thinks that you're fucking ugly. She's so mean. You come and hurt us just so you can get your money? What is she talking about? Forced to follow the leader who's being... What the fuck? Okay, apparently she doesn't like her principal for some unclear reason. And so she's mean with vague social accusations. No, psychiatry is closely related to the Inquisition. I mean, any different, you could say yes, but there are major similarities. That is something that Szasz has compared. Psychiatrists are enforcers of the desires of powerful people and of mainstream social rules. They punish deviance and heresy. That's what they do. And they have pseudoscientific excuses for why they're punishing heretics. We're not burning them for being witches. We're not burning them for being demonically possessed. We are helping them, not burning them. And we're doing it because scientifically their brains are broken. And how do we know that their brains are broken? What is our evidence? Well, it is nothing other than their heresy. We diagnose them by heresy, and then we say we scientifically know their brains are broken. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't think a principal taking a salary and being paid for his job is the problem here. That's ridiculous. I think she's anti-capitalist, and she's a cruel social climber. This guy seems like really incompetent. This is an unargued assertion with no research. I'm not very interested in talking to this person. All of their comments were terrible and really aggressive. They don't want to read anything. They don't want to give specifics. I link them to a blog post, and they won't quote anything and reply to it and point out any errors. They just make over really vague, broad, overall comments. And I'm like, and then misunderstand my position really badly and don't ask questions. Okay, so the issue was not would I threaten to ban someone for being hostile purposely. The question was, would I consider that force? I did not claim that that was force. He should really put some sort of divider after the log. Like he didn't block quote anything, which is like reasonably okay. But if he would just put like 3 lines when the log ends and he switches back to his own text like a divider, it would be a lot better. It just literally transitions from peace, which is apparently in the log, to I'm not sure. Okay, well this person is an unrealistic and gullible fool. I didn't kick him out. He was already trolling for a while. He was repeatedly, every single conversation he was in, he was an asshole who was not interested in learning or thinking. This is just a bunch of socially pressuring euphemisms. I don't want to talk that way, it's evil. This kind of thing does not solve these problems. This doesn't work. Show me examples where this shit works. Sometimes people pretend it works, but it's extraordinarily rare for this kind of thing to actually solve a problem. Instead of people just trying to hide the problem, or just getting even more mad when you say stuff like this. I didn't escalate to a ban. I did not ban him. I asked a question. What do you mean so quickly? This is after like 5 conversations. This also is not the start of the discussion. Felix was not trying to find out what has already been explained. He was not trying to read our resources and find out how to use FI. Therefore, You can't do this. There's no way to do it. He did not ask, how do I use FI? He did not read guides to using FI. He did not try to learn what this place is. That's on him. There is information available about it. He got extra opportunities. He acted badly in every conversation. He never showed value, curiosity, or anything. And he still had several conversations before he chose to leave, after he chose to be hostile. The reason he came was to pretend to be smart to his friend who invited him. He didn't want to tell his friend, oh no, I hate ideas, thinking, and reason, so I'm not going to join. That's why he joined. This is someone who won't even read BOI, but will say he's going to read BOI for months while lying in order to save face and pretend to be smarter and more interested in ideas than he is. Well, if you think you can do better, you can talk to people. Good luck. You explain it to them. New people come, tell them whatever you want. Try to help them. Maybe you'll find, when you attempt it yourself, that it's not as easy as you think it is. I know you'll find that. I think you'll find what some of the problems are that you didn't realize. People are hard to talk with, hard to work with. If you think you have a solution for how to get people interested in reason or whatever, good luck. More power to you. Instead of complaining that I don't do it, show me you do it. Of course, I think you should start with yourself. Convince yourself to be interested in reason. You have learned very little in your life. You have participated at FI very little in your life. So if you know how to help people deal with FI better, use that on yourself and actually get significantly involved in FI and learn a lot and become really smart and good and stuff. If you can't even do it on yourself, I don't know why you think you could help Felix. Anyway, he seems to be making tons of assumptions, very unreasonable assumptions. Like, he never does actual analysis. Like, he doesn't take this sentence and analyze what it means. He just assumes what it means, doesn't say what he assumed, and then talks like it means what he assumed it means. He's skipping so many steps, it's really hard to talk to him. Similarly, he quotes this, but he never directly says anything. Is he trying to contradict me? Is he trying to disagree about something? Does he think I made a mistake? He doesn't say. He doesn't explain his point. He also dropped the context of this. Anyway, and he also does not ask many questions. These ones are quotes, so there are no questions until this last paragraph. Let's see what they are. Yes, I know this. Depends what you mean, but sure. For some meaning of this, it is true. Fine. Okay. The confidence. Typo. You mean our non-CR-ness? Sure. Okay. Right. Well, you could point out a criticism of a particular thing that I wrote. Instead of saying, what if you're wrong, you could point out what you think is an error. I'm aware of the general possibility that I'm wrong, and I've taken what I think are appropriate steps to deal with it. You can either point out a problem with my methodology or a particular message that you think you see a flaw in. You have done neither. You don't seem very familiar with CR. Like, you're saying some stuff that shows you have, like, you've heard of CR, but this is like a standard bad argument. It's like saying you're fallible as if that was an argument against a particular thing someone wrote. And it's also a socially nasty phrasing. This is kind of aggressive and hostile. It shows that you're not so diplomatic and tactful as you think. You're actually being kind of mean to me. Again, right. Well, I have written about this. Literally wrote FI posts about this the other day, 4 in a row. No one replied. No one has criticism. I have put a lot of thought and effort into analyzing this, being good at it, etc. You are welcome to try it your way, or to criticize my methods, or to criticize my analysis, or to criticize my particular actions, but not to ask open-ended questions. What if you suck? That is not productive. That's not rational discussion. I mean, I'm not going to ban you for doing that, but you're not welcome, and that, like, I don't appreciate it. I don't think it's a good idea. It's not something I would suggest you do. Whereas there's other things I was saying you're welcome to do, like, I'm happy for people to try to do that. Whereas this, like, I'd rather you didn't. This is a bad way of being. What if, again, this is aggressive, hostile, pushy, unfriendly. Yeah. So do I have anything else to say? I have to update the timestamp when I post this. Let's see. It's a major topic change. Like, this person is not acknowledging what I said about force. Did they find my explanation useful? Did they agree with the stuff I said? They dropped all of this explanation. And they also, I had already told them they can criticize particular moderator actions. But they didn't. Do they think there was a moderator action here? There wasn't. I think if someone will leave, if someone is bad, they are negative value, and they will leave just because they find out we think they're negative value and don't appreciate them. That it's good that they leave. They don't really want to be there. I'm not going to ban them just because I think that they're low value or negative value. But I will tell them what I think that was going on. And if they want to leave, if they don't want to be somewhere they're not appreciated, that's fine. We can agree on that. He left voluntarily. That was his choice. I'm fine with it. Why is my computer fan now loud? Oh, Backblaze is doing a backup. Maybe we should stop it. Time Machine 2. I'll skip Time Machine. Oh, Backblaze might have just been doing this. Right, Backblaze stopped, and I told Time Machine to skip, and the fan seems to be calming down. Yeah, that's not like an unbiased, double-blind, scientific controlled trial. It is a non-blind, non-randomized, non-controlled trial where data is not actually being written down in any systematic way. You got like cherry-picked results where some people emphasize their results and others don't. You got selection effects, like the people who are the most happy or upset with the results are going to yell the loudest about it. And the majority of people who got results somewhere more in the middle are, in their opinion, are not going to yell so loudly. The idea of internalized oppression is a good one to talk about. A common example you can use is women wearing makeup. Do women wear makeup because they want to and they value makeup? Or because they have internalized oppression? They've been taught from childhood to wear makeup, so now they think they want to, but that was something pushed on them from culture. A lot of people who are reasonable can see that there could be something wrong there. The fact that the woman today, as an adult, believes she wants to wear makeup does not mean it's really her personal choice and value. It can still be conformity. I wanted to get Patio on my RSS feeds. So, how do I do that? I don't know if there's some sort of discoverability. What happens if I just put this in? New subscription. Subscribe, will that work? Will it find it? Oh, it found some posts. Edit. Ah, it found the feed automatically and just switched the URL to the feed. Perfect. Okay, so he's only posted twice this year and once last year. Pretty sure I read this. Pretty sure I read this too. Oh, so it's cash rules everything around me was the original. I knew there was some sort of everything around me meme. Maybe it's rules everything around me. Dreams rule everything around me. Dream. Drugs ruled past tense. Cats. I see. There's a an ice cream store called like Cookies Rule Everything Around Me, or Cream Does or something. What sucks about it just sucks. Don't worry about it. What the hell? There are no comments on this post. This one's buggy. Anyway. I read these. I read those. These I might not have read. Let's open these and take a look. Yes. Sarah's is a modifier. It's an adjective. For this speculation, I think you would need an example where that actually happens or comes up, which you don't have here. Here, it's just like a straight, normal adjective. There's nothing weird about it. These are out of order. The sense of life one was first. But I put them up like only like 20 minutes apart or something. So they got found at the exact same time. Oh, all this shit got found at 5 p.m. Oh no, that's it's because it's UTC midnight. It just means there isn't an hour given. It only has the date. So it thinks it's just automatically midnight as like the default. And then when you switch it to Pacific time, you got 4 or 5 p.m. depending on whether it's daylight savings or not. These ones have actual times. I read this one this morning. Is this working? There's like a exclamation point, but oh, so it last updated on September 8th. That's a while ago. Double clicking was not what I wanted. Refresh. I guess it doesn't work. All right, let's mark these as red. Teddy 11's output dropped when he joined Stripe, I think. Of his like personal web presence. Except Twitter. He still tweets a lot. It wasn't like that high before. His Hacker News output has been down for a while. So the title is already changed when I read This is not the title he was complaining about. He should have quoted the title. By not quoting the title, it gets like confusing when it's edited. And he's like suggesting it be edited, so he knows it might be edited, so he should have quoted. So his lack of FI-ness made things worse. I'll give this link, by the way. This is just only Patio 11's comments on Hacker News. Direct link. This is an extremely confusing way to write it. I think the M's represent thousands, and the Y's and X's are both single digits. I think it's just terribly confusing, though, and that it's ambiguous. This is very good text for someone who doesn't know anything about banking regulations. Like, this is just generically useful. Good script. The time sensitivity here is weird and bad. He could come back to this on a day when he does have time if he wants to. But he's not rationally optimizing his schedule to what he wants to do. Did this happen to come up on a day when I happen to have time for it? Then he'll write about it. And then if it happens to come up on a different day, he won't write about it. There's a lot of randomness, coincidence. Which questions does he happen to see on days when he happens to not be very busy, rather than making intentional choices about what he wants to spend time on and saving things for later that he actually thinks are valuable. He should be taking the best things that he doesn't have time for and saving them for later, and then doing them on days when he's less busy, and cutting out some of the less good things and just don't do them ever, and use the saved time for things that you saved on prior days. Got it. Patio was into this stuff before he worked for Stripe. He literally like used to post on some forum where people had like banking and credit card problems or something, and he'd like help other people write letters to banks and credit card companies and stuff because he was good at it. And people would be so bad at it, and he'd be like, "Well, I can write a good letter in 10 minutes. I'm just gonna write it for you." So he did that for a lot of people as like an old hobby. So it's this beat a lot more than he works at a payments company now. Oh, it was identity card theft apparently. Ah, here's some stuff about his old hobby. Right, he also did online payments for his own businesses before working at Stripe. I see. That looks concerning. Oh, Siri thinks I'm talking to her. What's GSC? He didn't define it. Government sponsored enterprise. Okay. I was thinking it might be the government. I was thinking something like security uh agency, but an E word. Like the regulators. Alright, pension tsunami. Let's find like a couple things that are going on. I want like the latest news. I want like the best story from the last year or something. Like what should I care about? Blog? Or like a summary or something? They just keep saying they're taking breaks. What the fuck is this? Okay, this one looks kind of generic. So the site's broken. Refreshing didn't help. Reader mode? Nope. No, this shit's just broken. Right, click on a thing. Will it be broken? That's just an off-site article. Whatever. Alright, what's next? But I thought I closed all the shit on the sidebar. Whatever. Anyway. It's not just like rule following, and doing what you're supposed to. It's kind of like being a CEO. I might end the stream pretty soon. I already read the beginning of this, but I don't know where I stopped. Like mediumly long, but not super long. Bye. I already wrote today before I streamed. That's just extra. I'm getting kind of tired. I don't think I have the focus to read this. I'm gonna stop later, guys.